Has to do with one of SAT's favorite topics, which is called a misplaced modifier. So what is a modifier? Generally speaking, sentences in the English language begin with the subject. So for example, I like cats. So you have your subject, and then you have your verb, and then you might have an object over here, you might not. The minimum you need in order to have a complete sentence is actually just subject and verb. But in this case, can you identify a sentence in the passage that is actually not starting out with a subject? So if you look at, for example, if you look at the first sentence, is this a subject? In fact, it is. Let's check the second one. If you go from capital letter to period, what do we notice here? There's a little bit of foregrounding. It's kind of like if you watch a play and at the very beginning of the play, you don't just start off with the main character showing up saying hi. Sometimes you have a little bit of foregrounding information that gives you a little bit more context about the main character before he or she walks on stage. So here, if you read this, it says named in 1999 as one of the greatest achievements by a U.S. chemist, blah, blah, blah. So over here, once you start getting into prepositions, you can kind of just cross this out as a prepositional phrase because that's really just going to be modifying achievements. They're trying to be super tricky here, right? Because if you use the word named, what do you think you're describing? A lot of people will say a person because a lot of times people are named, but actually other things can also be named, right? So if you're super careful here, we're actually talking about an achievement, right? So with these misplaced modifier questions, if you get the hang of them, they're actually super easy because now all you have to do is look at the subjects of each of your choices. We have Julian here. That's not even really a subject, so you can kind of cross that one out. Here is a subject, right? Julian's synthesis, and then over here we actually have the actual alkaloid. So which of those three is going to be an achievement? And if you say C, that would be correct. Julian is not one of the greatest achievements, right? So this is obviously the answer they want you to pick, but the correct answer is going to be C.